What's going on, world? Coming at you guys again with another quick video. The Austin Metcalf Carmelo Anthony video. Let's talk about it. So I just had the opportunity to watch the video that was released, the 11-minute video prior to the stabbing of Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. And it reaffirms my suspicions about Carmelo Anthony being innocent of his actions. And I'm going to prove it to you. If you have the opportunity, you can go check out this video. The video, when you go look at it, you really can't see Carmelo Anthony because he blends in with the bleachers and he's a step higher than where the tent canopy is. But as you see 10 to 15 other students, they transition into the under the tent. Now, when you get towards right before the stabbing, maybe a couple minutes before the stabbing, you see one individual in a black shirt, top left corner, go over to Carmelo Anthony, engage with Carmelo Anthony, and then come back. A couple minutes later, you see two more black shirt individuals. They both engage Carmelo Anthony. There's a struggle and a tussle, and then you see Carmelo Anthony shoot up. One guy falls back, the other guy comes around. That makes three people. And Carmelo Anthony goes up the bleachers, comes back down, falls down, and runs away. That makes three individuals that Carmelo Anthony had to engage with. Two of them engaged Carmelo Anthony with physical aggression, physical contact, and violence. This makes three people because they all share the same collective ideology of getting Carmelo Anthony removed from that tent. By Texas law, that makes them a group. Three or more is considered a group. And under Texas law, there's something called concerted group action. When you have three or more people, which is considered a group in criminal perspective, there's something called concerted group action. Now, with two of these individuals having engaged Carmelo Anthony with a physical threat, physical force, it is automatically recognized as serious harm or intent to do serious harm, which is now covered under the self-defense law through the self-defense doctrine, or the right to defend yourself for any member, not just the one individual who you came into contact with, but any one of the members. And remember, there's three, with the right to use deadly force. Now, when we talked about stand your ground talks about aggravated assault. Aggravated assault is felonious. It's not simple assault. So when you talk about a group, by criminal law, Texas standard is three people. The first black shirt came to Carmelo Anthony, tried to engage him, physical contact was tried to be made, and he came back. Two other black shirts came together, made contact with Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony responded, went up to the bleachers, came back down the bleachers, fell, and ran off. Two black shirts, one fell down, the other came back around and came to the aid. That's three people. Again, by Texas criminal law, three individuals is considered a group. And all three of these individuals had the same ideology, was to get Carmelo Anthony outside the tent. That's a collective interest, which means that this makes this a concerted group action for a concerted group intent, which automatically classifies it, because there was physical contact made, as the intent to do serious bodily harm. This is a very unfortunate situation, and this is where aggravated assault is actually applied, and prosecution has the eligibility to recognize it because it's happened before, to where three or more individuals whom assault, even though not all three individuals actually facilitate contact, it is still recognized as aggravated assault, a felony level with serious intent to do great bodily harm. Which means that Carmelo Anthony had the right to defend himself according to the self-defense doctrine here in Texas, with the right to utilize deadly force. So, again, what we are seeing and what we saw play out specifically, and why we specifically did not hear, or at least I believe why we did not hear Hunter Metcalf take the stand is because if he would have taken the stand, it would have opened up the opportunity for this to be thrown out based on the narrative that Carmelo Anthony would have had the legal defense to claim under the self-defense doctrine that because there was 3 or more individuals and Hunter Metcalf would have admitted on the stand that he tried to grab Carmelo Anthony's backpack, or his brother tried to grab Carmelo Anthony's backpack, or that he was involved in trying to get Carmelo Anthony removed from the situation, that makes him a participant within this collective group. And as we've seen on the video, we've already seen 3 individuals engage Carmelo Anthony, which again makes this a group, which makes this the concerted group action, which automatically is applied as intent to do serious bodily harm, which is considered aggravated assault, which under Texas law, Carmelo Anthony had the availability to utilize the self-defense doctrine for the right to defend himself with deadly force. Again, everything is not what you think it is. You cannot believe everything that you've been told. Most often you have to take time and do the research yourself, because there's a lot of narratives and information that's put out to try to put things in perspective based off of how they want you to think and what they want you to believe. Again, I personally don't condone the actions of Carmelo Anthony, but this is the rule of law here in the state of Texas. And unfortunately, the way it stands right now, again, you can go look at the video. There's initial contact with Carmelo Anthony, physical contact we've already heard from Hunter Metcalf talk about how his backpack was they tried to remove his backpack or take his backpack from him. That's the first initial contact. That means anything else that happens after that regarding Carmelo Anthony, that he's supposed to leave or to move, and any other individual who also engages with the same theory, unfortunately, is now a co-conspirator, which makes them a participant, and that includes a group. Now, we already know that Austin Metcalf physically assaulted Carmelo Anthony, so that makes number 2. So allegedly, we have Hunter Metcalf and we have Austin Metcalf as 2 members. Now, on the video, again, there are 2 individuals that appear to attack Carmelo Anthony simultaneously, to where Carmelo Anthony allegedly, or from what he said, he pulled a knife out of his bag and stabbed Austin Metcalf, which means that there were at least 3 members whom accosted and had the same ideology and the same plan to try to get Carmelo Anthony to leave from the tent by any means necessary, to include physical assault, in which we saw and unfortunately has led to this situation to where 2 kids' lives are forever changed. So, again, take this into consideration. Go look at the information. Again, this falls under Texas doctrine, Texas law. It's aggravated assault, it's concerted group action, it's self-defense doctrine, and it's the correlation for the right to self-defense with deadly force, based off of the measure that there was at least 3 people involved in the same agenda to get Carmelo Anthony to move out of that tent, and they utilized physical force. So, take this for what you will, but at the end of the day, I personally know for a fact that prosecution is biased. Not all, but can be. Judges can be biased. Not all, but they can be. And juries can be biased. Not all, but they can be. So take this into consideration, because we know for a fact, and I've been saying this for a while, that, it's time for a change here in America, especially within our criminal justice system.